Hello and welcome to another episode of my Facts and Glitches series, where I showcase the best discoveries in Red Dead Redemption 2 that have been found by speedrunners and my awesome viewers. In the mission Americans at Rest, Arthur gets into a memorable fight with Tommy, which concludes with Arthur on top of him, punching him in the head.
Hey, come on, stop that! Stop! Please, I beg you, stop. You won the fight already, surely that's enough?
What business is it of yours?
Surprisingly, it turns out that you don't actually have to beat Tommy in this scene. You can instead simply do nothing, which creates a fairly awkward scene of restraint rather than aggression. This then creates a disconnect between the scene and the following cutscene, with the man's panicked request for you to stop.
Stop! Please!
What business is it of yours?
Not only that, but the story will still play out as if you did beat Tommy in the head, as during the mission A Quiet Time, Tommy can be found in the bar with evidence of having received brain damage from the beating we were expected to have given him.
Hey, buddy. Hey, no hard feelings, huh? You ever wonder if life is a brutal waste of time? Yeah, I think you're right, partner.
The vomiting animation surprisingly negates all fall damage. The best way to take advantage of this is to eat the common bulrush, which forces you to vomit. Although as the vomit animation only moves you forward a small amount, it isn't easy to fall off places reliably. In the mission Old Habits, John repeatedly punches one of the Lamy boys before being stopped by his wife.
Leave him alone.
Get off that man! Get off!
However, specifically on the PC version of the game, it is possible to use the knife keybind to be able to stab him instead. As the game doesn't expect you to be able to use a weapon, it creates a very unusual scene. Regardless of how many times you execute him, the scene will never progress until you punch him, but even when you do, no acknowledgement will ever be made of the man's seeming immortality.
Get off that man! Get off!
A cool interaction that I'm sure very few get to see occurs when you soak an animal pelt in flammable liquids such as oil. The pelt soaks up the liquid, so if you then pick it up and run through fire, it comes alight and leaves a thick trail of fire in the air behind you as you run. This surprisingly doesn't do much damage to you at all, despite that logically you also should be burning alive. There is a simple way to instantly knock someone out. Crouch in front of them and spam the melee button.
How do you do? This ain't happening.
This triggers a unique animation that drops them instantly. This unfortunately only works outside of combat since you can't crouch during fights. It can however be useful just before you enter combat, like here on the mission Jim Milton rides again.
Who's this?
New hand?
Here you can knock out one enemy before John enters combat with the next. Understandably, the first enemy is taken out far faster than the second. On the mission Horseflesh for dinner, the gang goes to steal some horses from the Braithwaites, but a very talkative stable hand gets in the way.
Can I help you boys?
I hope so. Heard you got some horses.
We always got horses.
Fine horses, I mean.
After a lot of yapping, we are eventually prompted by the game to silently take him out.
Corey.
As it turns out though, there is actually a few ways to take him out far earlier than the game suggests. You can hog tie him, for example.
Got you now. What's gotten into you? Ah, calm the hell down.
What the hell are you doing?
Keep your mouth shut or you get a bullet through it. We're taking the horses.
But you can also stealth kill him with arrows or knives.
Let's get to these horses. Hey, like a kid, he's so straight.
Both save a lot of time as you skip all of the talking, but if you don't want to take him out yourself, you can just wait and let Javier do it.
Greaser, huh?
Okay, bandana's on. Don't need nobody recognizing us.
On the mission American Venom, the final mission of the game, Sadie is wounded, so John goes on ahead alone, engaging in a long shootout where he takes out over 30 men as he rushes through before going to take down Micah.
You don't look too fine.
Go get him, I'll be fine. I just need to rest.
The epicness of this scene is soured somewhat if you know that you're not required to kill any of these enemies, so you can just run past everyone. Hell, it isn't even particularly difficult to do. Fortunately for John, all these men will very kindly just leave on their own when you go down to confront Micah.
Micah, if you're here, come out.
It certainly would have been awkward had they stuck around.
Hello, Scarface.
Red Dead Redemption 2 has long animations when you pick up bodies of animals or people, showing Arthur preparing himself for the heavy load. It turns out he doesn't actually need such preparation, as these animations can be skipped if you put a horse on the body. Comparing with and without the horse side by side shows how significantly faster it is to pick them up when you skip this animation. This trick can also be used with animal skinning, which normally involves a long animation to get a Pelts. If again you put a horse on the animal, the fur is instantly warped off. Before starting the side mission Oh Brother, you can actually murder both brothers without becoming wanted.
Just leave me be, damn it!
Leave me the hell alone!
Howdy, Sheriff.
Partner?
Thank you for keeping us all safe, sir.
What's even more amusing is that they will respawn whenever you leave the area and come back, and even killing them repeatedly does not bring the ire of the law.
No, Brother Brodus, you're... No, Brother Brodus, you're...
On the mission Blessed Are the Meek, we rescue Micah and take out some enemies that pursue us as we escape. Eventually Micah says,
Okay, woo! Let's get out of here before we get any more on our tail.
after which we have to listen to Micah yap all the way down the trail before he finally declares,
I think we finally lost him.
if like most people you don't really want to listen to Micah yap on, you can skip this entire additional ride by lighting yourself on fire.
Get back on the horse, damn it.
After you do this, get back on your horse and then catch up to Micah. He will no longer want to talk and will just declare that we have lost our pursuers.
I think we finally lost him.
I hope so.
On the side mission Brothers and Sisters All for One, a kid steals the sister's cross and Arthur chases after, eventually finding the boy being threatened by a man whose watch he also stole.
Where's my watch, you little weasel?
Surprisingly, there is a unique effect only on this specific encounter, which is that neither the boy or the man are affected by the time slowing down effect of Deadeye.
I don't know.
Hey, you! Get your hands off of that boy right now.
Stole my watch.
Right now. Before I smash your head.
After the encounter is over, as you can see, they return to being slowed down as normal.
Thanks, mister.
You got lucky this time, kid.
You can see what Arthur's current temperature is by pressing Alt or down on the D-pad. Unsurprisingly, Arthur is a different temperature when he's outside on a sunny day, or near a fire, or out in the snow, or inside, but the biggest difference you can see is when Arthur is lit on fire, as it shows him as being hundreds of degrees. On the mission Who the Hell is Leviticus Cornwall, the dynamite fails to go off when Bill presses the detonator, resulting in the gang needing to jump onto the train.
Shit, no, what?
However, prior to this cutscene, we can prove that Bill did wire the detonator correctly. We can do this by shooting the detonator and seeing that the dynamite does indeed explode. Hell, we can also shoot the dynamite to show that that too wasn't faulty. All this shows that Rockstar somewhat scammed Bill, as he seemingly didn't do anything wrong in his setting up of the device.
Where did you find that moron? You said it was fine.
My fault. Come on!
Arthur's final mission, simply titled Red Dead Redemption, was different for a small amount of players. Most of us got to experience a scene where Arthur's horse was shot and killed, leading Arthur to express sadness over the loss of his beloved horse.
Come on, brother. Let's go. Give me a second. Come on. Push, Arthur. Thank you. Arthur! Come on, Arthur. Let's go.
However, this emotional scene only plays if the bonding level you have with your horse is 2 or above. If your bonding level is 1, the scene is just skipped entirely.
Come on, Arthur. Let's go.
Honestly, I think this is a really interesting detail, even if the overall scene is far less dramatic when it skips. Rockstar takes pity on everyone who doesn't read the help text on the mission Enter Pursued by a Memory. While you are searching for John with Javier, your stamina gets low. The game therefore tries to teach you about your stamina core and instructs you to open your satchel and eat to refill it. If you follow the instructions, you can progress without further stopping.
Let's keep moving then. Come on.
If, however, you don't follow the prompt, you will be forcibly stopped by a cutscene where Javier gives you alcohol to refill your stamina.
How you doing? I'm miserable. Been a tough few days.
I know. Here. Take a drink of that.
Thanks.
Not designed for this snow.
Very late in the story, Arthur meets and helps out the Wapiti Indians, but it is technically possible to go to their reservation earlier whenever you want to. While they don't outright attack you, they are hostile towards you in the way they speak, and they question why you are there.
Hey, mister.
This is no place for you.
It is almost as if the game itself is speaking to you, and you are specifically being told that nothing of interest is here and you should leave.
Morning to you.
I prefer to have nothing to do with you.
Good morning, mister.
What's the real reason that you're here?
Hi, folks.
We have nothing to discuss.
Ladies.
None of us have anything to say.
We do not want you here. None of us do.
Good evening.
You do not belong here. We have nothing for you.
That nearly made my heart give out.
Indeed.
After the Chapter 6 mission A Rage Unleashed, where Arthur helps retrieve the tribe's horses that were confiscated by the US Army, all of this dialogue changes to become more friendly and welcoming.
Now they've taken our horses.
Come along. Morning.
Hi there.
Hey, friend. Hey. Hello.
Hi there.
Hey, partner.
Hello.
You seem to be having a hard time of it here. Partner.
Hello there.
Hello to you.
Hey there.
Hello again.
I am.
Hello, friend.
Hello, boy.
If you hit someone with an explosive arrow, it will explode instantly. But this changes if you do an execution by going in close and pressing melee, as the explosion will now be delayed. I assume this delay exists so you have time to move away and thus avoid dying to the explosion, as fire arrows don't have such a delay even when used in an execution. Rufus is the name of the Marston family's yellow Labrador retriever. More importantly, if you press show info when looking at him, it will provide you with the very useful information that Rufus is in fact a good boy.
Hey, whatever your name was. All right, Rufus.
There is a strange nest in the Grizzlies east which you can loot for jewels. To get there, you have to engage in some fairly odd climbing, first reaching this small camp with nothing of interest. I suspect this exists just to distract us, suggesting there is nothing of interest, as moving further along an even less obvious path has us reach the nest with the actual valuables. While initially these jewels would suggest a huge payday, they actually only sell for $25 each. This is a very small amount given how difficult they are to acquire. I wonder if these jewels had some significance in some cut content that was never finished. If you style your hair with the scented oil pomade, it surprisingly holds so firmly that even if you take a bath and viciously scrub your hair, it will not come off. There is a con artist in Saint Denis who fakes blindness in an attempt to gain coins from passers-by.
Whoa! Hey! You know, you seem real perceptive for a blind man.
Oh, who said that?
You really blind? If you lie to me again, I'll shoot you dead.
Okay, I ain't really blind. Just take it easy. Well, I'll be on my way.
Both Arthur and John sometimes use their journal to draw pictures of things they come into contact with. If you take the time to take them both to the same locations, you will get the clearest picture, showcasing that Arthur is much better at drawing than John. While Arthur's attempts will often show real talents, John's drawings will often be little more than stick figures. In the northern part of the Grizzlies east, there is a hut that seemingly belongs to a witch. There isn't much here of value, just some small items and the general stuff that you'd think a witch would have, with the sole exception of a mysterious liquid in a cauldron. While initially appearing quite ominous, if you drink it, the only effect is that you pass out and wake up nearby. Of course, how you're moved here is never explained. On the mission Polite Society Valentine style, the game will outright tell you that the path on the right is quicker.
Go right here, it's quicker.
While this is indeed the shortest road, we unfortunately end up getting sidetracked and forcibly slowed down by an encounter with a man who loses his horse.
Very serious.
Yeah, there, you got it. Well done, Arthur.
You're a gentleman, sir. A gentleman.
No, not really. I was just trying to impress the women.
Well, anyway, thank you.
When taking this distraction into account, it ends up being way quicker just to ignore the game and take the left path, as it avoids this encounter. You don't even lose honor like you do if you do go the right path and just ignore him.
Woo! Smell those sheep. Or is that Uncle?
In the mission Blessed Are the Meek, Arthur speaks to the sheriff and finds out he plans to hang Micah.
I'm on the trail of a dangerous gang. I was just wondering if I could get a description.
You can look right enough when we hang him.
Arthur stupidly decides to save Micah, and there is actually 3 general ways to go about doing this. The first is to immediately walk back inside to kill everyone, which gives you the keys and therefore Micah's freedom.
Let me out of here, you... Come on, get this door open. Thank you, friend. Now give me a gun. Hey, you. Bye now.
How the hell you do that?
I'll tell you later.
Come on!
Using the keys does however skip all the dialogue that is available from the slowest method, which is using the winch near the bars outside.
Arthur! Arthur!
Hello, old friend. Had a good time, did you?
You going to get me out of here?
I ain't decided yet.
Real funny.
Oh, I ain't joking, cowpoke. I heard so much bluster out of your mouth these last 6 months. And now, I got an opportunity to watch you be silenced.
Well, you gotta do something.
Why?
I always looked up to you, Arthur.
Well, that's your first mistake. Listen, there's one little problem. There's only one of me, and there's a whole town full of people wanting to see you swing.
You got to do something, Arthur.
What a modern disaster this is gonna be.
Just pull that lever. Come on.
Let's get out of here, come on. What the hell are you doing?
He wasn't O'Driscoll.
The final and fastest method is the one suggested by Micah.
You got any dynamite? Let me out of here, you maggots!
Let's get out of here, come on. What the hell are you doing?
So that's it for this episode. Thank you for watching. If you think you know of anything that would be of interest to this series, feel free to add it to my Discord. I hope you're all doing well.